Welcome back, fight fans. In today's video, we've got a packed lineup of headlines. First off, UFC 292 commentary team and broadcast plans set. Joe Rogan and Jon Anik return to Boston. Next, the UFC parts ways with 3 more fighters, including James Krause. In addition, Aljamain Sterling reveals side bet with Sean O'Malley ahead of UFC 292. And last but not least, Israel Adesanya made some interesting comments and felt Khamzat deserves a shot at the title. The 9th numbered UFC event of the year is rapidly approaching with UFC 292 on Saturday at TD Garden in Boston. As always, some marquee on-air talent will be there to help guide viewers through the experience. Longtime UFC correspondent Megan O'Leary will conduct pre- and post-fight interviews backstage with some of the athletes on the UFC 292 card, as well as report additional real-time updates for the event. The most famous Octagon announcer in history will do his thing once again at UFC 292. The legendary Bruce Buffer will introduce the fighters before battle. Longtime broadcaster Michael Eaves will host the UFC 292 post-fight show. He'll be joined by 3-time UFC title challenger Chael Sonnen and UFC welterweight Michael Chiesa. Jon Anik will serve as the leading man on the mic from cage side, and he will command play-by-play alongside color commentators Joe Rogan and former 2-division UFC champion Daniel Cormier. Mixed martial arts can be ruthless, leading to frequent fighter releases. The promotion often makes decisions they think will benefit them long-term. Sometimes fans and media agree, while other times it sparks debate. UFC has announced the exit of 3 fighters. Let's delve into the recent departures. James Krause's exit might not be shocking due to recent controversies. Even though he won 7 of his last 8 UFC bouts, he hasn't competed since October 2020. He's been under scrutiny for a betting scandal that emerged last November, barring any fighters training under him from competing in UFC. Ian Heinisch, citing health reasons, has informed UFC of his retirement. Since joining through Dana White's Contender Series in 2018, Heinisch recorded 3 wins and 4 losses. Kevin Lee's recent comeback was met with high hopes. However, Rinat Fakhretdinov defeated him in under a minute. After this, due to ongoing injuries, Lee announced his retirement from MMA. Aljamain Sterling has a bet made with Sean O'Malley over their UFC 292 title fight. Sterling and O'Malley are set to headline UFC 292 in Boston in a highly anticipated matchup. In the lead-up to the fight, both men have been vocal in suggesting they will be getting a stoppage win. Sterling revealed another interesting wrinkle to the fight, as the 2 sides have agreed to a side bet. This is what he said: "Whoever shoots first pays $100. So I do think when I pressure him, he might panic shoot. He might be the one panic shooting because he might be worried that I'm going to take him down. Or this could be a little trickery. You never know. You never know." Who's your pick for UFC 292? Aljamain Sterling or Sean O'Malley? Drop your predictions in the comments. Back at UFC 290, Israel Adesanya and Dricus du Plessis faced off in the Octagon following the latter's win over Robert Whittaker. By all accounts, it seemed as if du Plessis would get the next shot at Adesanya's UFC middleweight championship. However, with du Plessis not being ready in time for UFC 293, Sean Strickland got the call instead. Again, though, it did seem as if du Plessis had done enough to work his way into a title opportunity. After all, he'd beaten Whittaker, the man who many consider to be one of the best middleweights in the world. During a recent interview, Adesanya agreed with his coach in saying that the South African may not get what he desires. This is what he said: "Definitely Khamzat could pass du Plessis, but again, I do want to fight Dricus, but he has to know he's not calling the shots here. That's the thing, I am. So, again, my foot was this, my foot was that. Yeah, we'll see." Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. We greatly appreciate your support and interest. If you enjoyed the content and want to stay updated, please don't forget to subscribe. Your involvement helps us continue producing and sharing more valuable content with you. Once again, thank you, and we look forward to having you as part of our community.